For 50 years, Earth was silent. No signal. No ship. No voice in the stars. At first, the galaxy waited. They searched Earth's old systems, scanned every planet, and listened for even a whisper. But nothing came. Soon, the story changed. There. Gone, said the Xerox Alliance. Dead and forgotten, laughed the Dre Empire. Humans were weak. Their end was expected, spoke the Grand Tribunal. And so the galaxy moved on. Earth's borders were redrawn. Alien empires took human colonies. Earth's name was removed from star maps. Their technology was copied, their history rewritten. Even their monuments were torn down. Some still whispered that Earth might return, but they were mocked. In the outer edges of known space, a single alien scout ship flew silently through the dark. The captain of the ship, Commander Viral, stared at the black void ahead. He had served in the last war against the humans many years ago. He remembered their strength and their madness. His crew was young. They didn't believe in the old stories. They joked about Earth, called it the burned rock. But Viral didn't laugh. He felt something. Off. Scan again, he ordered quietly. His second-in-command blinked. Sir, there's nothing out here. It's a dead zone. Exactly, Viral replied. And that's the problem. A strange signal flickered on the screen. Just one pulse. Then it vanished. What was that? Viral asked, standing quickly. No idea, sir. It wasn't a distress call. It wasn't alien. It was something else. The signal came again. This time stronger. It was just 3 words, broadcast in old human code. We are watching. Everyone on the ship froze. Silence filled the control room. One of the younger crew laughed nervously. Some kind of joke signal? Joke? Viral snapped. Translate that code again. The message repeated itself. Same tone. Same calm rhythm. We are watching. Viral's hands trembled slightly. Power up shields, he ordered. Turn us around, full burn. Sir? His officer blinked. Are we under attack? No, Viral said. We're not meant to be attacked. We're meant to be seen. The stars behind them began to shimmer. Space itself seemed to bend, like water rippling under pressure. And then they saw it. A massive outline appeared just beyond their ship. It hadn't come from hyperspace. There was no jump signature, no alert. 1 second it wasn't there, and the next it was. A ship, huge, black, armored. Its lights were faint, glowing like dying embers. Its shape was like a spearhead, ancient, yet alive. And worst of all, it was human. Impossible, whispered the science officer. That class of ship, no one builds them anymore. Not since Earth fell. Viral finished. A ship slowly drifted past them, silent. Watching. Then it sent another message. Do not follow. Before they could respond, it cloaked, vanishing into the stars. The next day, chaos began. Across the galaxy, small relay stations went offline. Weapons systems glitched. Secure databases were emptied. Every race that once claimed Earth's ruins began to lose control of their sectors. One human word began showing up on ancient satellite screens, on long-dead colonies, even on alien homeworlds. Remember, in the Galactic Council chamber, leaders from dozens of species shouted at once, "We need answers." Who triggered this? What if Earth is back? They all fell silent when the lights dimmed. A hologram appeared in the air above them. Single human in dark armor, his face hidden, his voice calm. You claimed our worlds. You mocked our fall. You forgot who we are. The image changed to show human fleets cloaking and uncloaking in unison, hovering silently above key systems. Now you will remember. And then the hologram ended. Back on the scout ship, Commander Viral sat quietly in his chair. His young crew didn't speak. They had seen it too. "Sir," one whispered. "What? What happens next?" Varel looked at the stars, now cold and endless again. He spoke softly. "Now, the galaxy will learn what humans do when they've been forgotten." Asterisk, the alien ship had no warning, no alarms, no sound, just shadow. One moment, the stars outside the window were calm and peaceful. Then, something blocked them. Captain Varen of the Ruthari patrol cruiser was leaning over a strategy map when the lights dimmed for just a second. "Report," he said calmly. "Minor power fluctuation," replied the engineer. "Probably just a dust cloud or dark matter field." "Then why?" Varen said slowly, pointing to the window. "Are the stars gone?" Everyone turned. Outside, something massive floated above them. Not visible directly. It was like a shadow-shaped. Like a blade, stretching across the sky. It didn't reflect light. It seemed to drink it. "Scan that object," Varen ordered. "No reading, sir," the officer stammered. It's not there." "It's blocking stars," Varen growled. "It's there." A cold fear settled over the crew. Then, their ship's lights flickered. All screens went black. New signal appeared burned into every monitor in glowing red text. "You are trespassing." Varen's heart raced. "Where is this signal coming from?" "No idea, Captain," his officer replied. It's inside our systems. We can't shut it off." The text changed. "This space belongs to Earth." Gasps filled the bridge. Another officer whispered, "But Earth is gone." Without a sound, the massive shadow ship began to descend slow and steady. As it moved, smaller shadows flickered into view around it. 10, 20, 30 ships, decloaking one by one. All human. All armed, all waiting. Varen slammed a red button on his console. "Emergency broadcast. Open all channels. This is Captain Varen of the Ruthari Empire. We are peaceful. We are on patrol, only requesting safe passage." No reply. Then one ship responded. Only one. A single human vessel moved forward, larger than the rest. Its hull was jet black, with blue lights running down its sides. Across its side was one name in Old Earth script: U.E.S. Requiem. Viren's translator failed to read the text, but the old engineer on board whispered, "That word means death." The human ship sent a message. No video. Just a voice. A deep, calm voice. "We do not seek war, but we remember what was taken." Varen trembled. "What do you want from us?" The voice answered, "We want you to tell your galaxy something. Earth is not gone. Earth is awake." Then the ship turned. All the human vessels vanished again, cloaking in silence. Not a single shot fired, not a single word more. Back at the Galactic Command Center, Viren's report played to an emergency council. Dozens of alien leaders shouted at once, "They're back. This is an act of aggression. Earth was destroyed. This must be fake." But then, a recording played from another system. And another, and another, all across the galaxy. Reports came in, human ships appearing silently, hovering above old Earth colonies. Broadcasting the same warning: "You trespass on Earth's legacy." In the background of each video, the same ship appeared, the U.E.S. Requiem. No one knew how many there were. No one knew where they were hiding. But one thing was now certain. Earth was not gone. It had simply been waiting. Some tried to laugh it off. Others said it was a trick, a ghost fleet, or pirates using old tech. But one alien historian, Elik, a Varnathi scholar, stood before the Galactic Senate and spoke a final warning. "Humans are not ghosts," he said. "They are storms. They do not return to talk. They return to change things." On the edge of deep space, the human fleet gathered quietly. Inside the lead ship, The Admiral of Earth's silent Armada stood watching a star map. He looked at the glowing zones where alien empires now ruled Earth's former space. Then he said 3 words to his fleet. Begin Phase 1. Asterisk. The first warning came as a whisper on old channels. The second warning arrived as a scream, heard across every system at once. And the third, that one couldn't be ignored. On the trading world of Qatar. Ships lined up for launch. Merchants argued. Workers laughed. Security drones scanned the streets. Everything was normal. Until the sky changed. Not storm clouds. Not ships. But a hologram projected over the entire planet from nowhere. A single phrase in ancient Earth code burned. Across the clouds, we have returned. Panic followed. In the central station, alarms rang. Elite guards rushed into action. The planetary commander demanded answers. Where is it broadcasting from? Unknown, the tech shouted. It's not coming from orbit. It's inside the air itself. We can't jam it. The message changed. This is not revenge. This is remembrance. Soon, the same message appeared on every planet that once belonged to Earth. Old colonies, now ruled by alien governments. Military outposts, built on the ruins of human cities. Even peaceful resort worlds that had erased human history. One by one, the skies lit up with the same message. You took. We remember. In the capital of the Jareen Empire, their emperor, once a general who led the final strike against Earth, stood frozen as his throne room's walls glowed with the same human warning. His advisors begged him to speak, to respond. But he only whispered one word. Impossible. Meanwhile, in the far void, the UE's Requiem hovered above a forgotten mining station. Inside, Admiral Kale stood beside a table filled with old data chips. The chips were pieces of Earth's lost past, each one stolen, hidden, or buried by the galaxy's empires. Now, retrieved. One soldier entered and saluted. All sites have received the warning, sir. Any replies? The Admiral asked. The soldier nodded. Most are silent. A few are preparing to fight. Kale turned to the window. Stars shimmered across the black sky. So be it, he said. Asterisk. Back on Qatar, a brave reporter transmitted a live broadcast. Citizens of the galaxy, she said, voice shaking. We are seeing a coordinated, silent action across all regions. These are not pirates, not ghosts. This is without a doubt Earth's lost fleet, and they are sending a message to us all. Suddenly, her broadcast cut out. A new image replaced it, a human child's voice, soft and clear. You laughed when we fell. You celebrated our silence. Now hear ours. The signal ended. No threats, no weapons. Just a voice that made the galaxy hold its breath. On a diplomatic cruiser, Ambassador Raylan, a longtime alien peace negotiator, pushed his trembling hands across. A message pad. He remembered Earth. He remembered the last transmission Earth ever sent before going silent 50 years ago. A cry for help, a call ignored. Now, their return wasn't with war cries. It was with cold memory. In the Galactic Council, chaos erupted. Dozens of species shouted over each other. Earth is threatening us. No, they haven't fired a shot. They're hacking our systems. They're inside everything. This is war. But one old voice rose above the noise. It was Elder Mir, the last surviving alien ambassador who once walked on Earth. Do not call it war, she said. Earth is not here for blood. They are here to remind you what you forgot. And if we don't listen? One council member shouted. Elder Mir stared into the council's glowing center. And you'll learn what happens when you corner something that was never truly dead. Back aboard the Requiem, Admiral Kale stared at a list of former Earth colonies now under alien control. He touched one. then another. Each name held a story. Each name had been erased. But now, Earth remembered them all. A soft tone echoed across the ship. "All fleets are in position, Admiral," said his officer. "Phase 2? The officer asked. Kale shook his head. "Not yet. Give them one last chance." To do what? To admit they were wrong. Asterisk in a secret system far, beyond any star chart, a boy. Machine heart pulse dot. It beat once every few seconds. Cold. Precise. A live dot, and around that pulse floated the truth. The galaxy had feared to ask Earth never died. It disappeared. Deep in a black zone of space, invisible to every scanner, hung an enormous human station, ancient, yet humming with energy. Its name was simple. Echo Base. No one in the galaxy knew it existed. Built inside the corpse of a dead moon. Echo Base was the birthplace of something terrible and something brilliant. It was where the human fleet slept. And where it woke. Inside. Admiral Kale walked down a quiet corridor. His boots echoed off metal floors. Around him, crew members in dark Earth uniforms moved like ghosts, silent, focused, unshaken. Every wall showed maps of the galaxy. Red zones for alien control. Blue dots for old Earth colonies. And now, green lights. New signals. Human fleets. Moving. Watching. Waiting. Kale stepped into a chamber called the memory room. Here, thousands of data crystals floated in circular fields. Each held stories of fallen human worlds, burned cities, lost colonies, broken treaties. Every lie the galaxy told about Earth's end stored here like fuel. Kale stared at one crystal. It glowed dimly, labeled, "New Geneva evacuated before fall." He whispered, "They never knew we left in time." 50 years ago, Earth faced collapse, not from alien invasion, but from betrayal. Some of the galaxy's leaders promised peace, but launched secret attacks on human colonies. To survive, Earth made a choice: disappear. They cloaked their ships. They erased signals. They left false wreckage behind. Then they built, silently, in the dark. Watching. Recording. And now, they were done waiting. A technician approached Admiral Kale. "Sir," she said, "the final stealth fleet is ready." "All stations confirm linked. Your orders?" Kale looked at her. "Send the next message. And this time, make it visual." Across 10 alien worlds, communication screens lit up at once. Not with a voice, but with a face. Human. Real. Wearing the deep blue uniform of the old United Earth Defense Fleet. The woman stared into the screen, calm, unafraid. "My name is Commander Sora Kalin," she said. "You once called Earth a memory, a myth, a ruin." She stepped aside. Behind her was a giant viewing window. Through it, hundreds of human warships floated in perfect formation, blinking into view from cloak. "We were never gone," she said. "You just stopped looking." Panic spread fast. Military planets, alarms screamed. On news networks, debates raged. On trade worlds, merchants fled to bunkers. Some tried to explain it away. It's a simulation. It's old tech. But then Earth's fleets began to move with perfect precision. No wasted time. No wasted words. They didn't fire. They didn't threaten. They just arrived and watched. In the Grand Council, alien leaders argued again, but this time, they sounded afraid. Why now? What do they want? What are they waiting for? Only Elder Mir spoke truth again. "They are waiting," she said, "to see who pretends they never took from Earth, and who dares to admit it." Back on Echo Base, Kale stood with Commander Sora beside the giant screen. They watched new footage stream in Alien. Soldiers surrendering weapons on old human colony grounds. An alien general fell to one knee before a projection of Earth's flag. But others were not so wise. In one corner of the galaxy, A fleet was forming. Old enemies. Old pride. One last resistance. Kale stared at the screen. He tapped a button. One last message began to broadcast. To those who remember the truth, stand down. We come for justice, not blood. To those who mock our return, prepare. The screen faded to black. Asterisk. No one saw the explosion. No light. No sound. No warning. Just 1 second, it existed. The next, it didn't. The pride of the Tresh Dominion fleet, the Invicta, a supercarrier larger than a city, vanished from the stars like it had never been built. 30,000 soldiers. Gone. No survivors. No wreckage. Just silence. In the Tresh War Hall, alarms blared. Commander shouted, "What happened to the Invicta? Who fired? Where is the attack fleet?" There were no answers. The screen showed only a glitch static for 6 seconds. Then, a single frame appeared. Before the feed cut, a still image of the U.E.'s Requiem, floating alone. Under it, red words, "First debt repaid?" Panic spread through the military sectors of 3 alien empires. Emergency fleets scrambled. Weapon platforms powered up. Orders were shouted across systems. Find them. Destroy them. But how do you fight shadows? Because Earth's ships were no longer just cloaked. They were invisible to time. In a dark chamber, high above the skies of Vern Prime, an alien warlord pounded the metal table. They dare touch one of our flagships? A silent advisor leaned close. Sir, they didn't touch it. They erased it. The warlord froze. Then bring them to us. But Earth didn't come to fight. Not directly. Instead, across dozens of alien-occupied human worlds, strange things began to happen. Weapons stopped working. Defense systems glitched. Power grids crashed. One city saw all its skyships freeze midair, and then land softly without harm. Another saw every screen display a human message. This world remembers. Its name. In a once human farming colony, now run by the Olari Syndicate, a governor watched helplessly as the sky filled with Earth's drones, hundreds of them, silent, hovering just above rooftops. Then, the food storages stolen from Earth's people decades ago were opened and dropped freely into the hands of starving locals. No shots fired. Just justice. Across the galaxy, messages poured into the Council. Earth is dismantling our war systems. They shut down our shipyards. They took over our broadcasts. But still, Earth did not invade. They dismantled. They exposed. They made the galaxy see what had been hidden. On a deep space military station, a young alien officer stared at a wall of red alerts. He whispered, "They could destroy us." His commander laughed nervously. "Then why don't they?" Another voice, older, answered from the back, "Because this isn't destruction. This is a lesson." Back at Echo Base, Admiral Kale watched the fleet's quiet movements. No cheering. No music. No speeches. Only orders. Only action. One of his captains reported in Operation Sightless Dawn complete. Enemy weapons deactivated on all 20 targets. 0 casualties. Minimal resistance. Kale nodded. They don't understand yet. The captain hesitated. Sir, they're forming an alliance. The empires are calling it the Unity Blade. They say they will launch a combined fleet against us. Kale turned, calm. Let them try. Then he pressed a button and sent one short message across the stars. Phase 3. Show them what we remember. In the core of every major empire, human satellites that had been hiding for decades activated at once. Each one sent a wave of holograms into the sky. The galaxy looked up and saw their history, their crimes. They saw footage of Earth's last days, colonies burning, children fleeing, all while alien leaders watched and did nothing. Earth hadn't forgotten. No one could. On a peaceful trade moon, an alien child pulled her mother's sleeve. "Why is the sky crying?" she asked. The mother looked up. She didn't answer, because she couldn't tell her daughter that the glowing image in the sky was once a real human city, and they had helped destroy it. In the Galactic Council, silence reigned. One word now passed, from mouth to mouth: surrender? But it was too late, because Earth was not asking for surrender. They were giving the galaxy a mirror, and the first crack had already appeared. Asterisk, asterisk. The war never came, but still cities fell, not to weapons, not to fire, but to something far more dangerous. Memory. On the rich pleasure world of Elzari Prime, known for its floating cities and glowing oceans, tourists woke to a strange new sight. Above them, the clouds shimmered, not from weather, but from light. Projected across the sky was an image no one had seen in a century. A human mother, holding her dying child, screaming for help as alien ships passed overhead. The image was real. Old, raw, unedited. And it played again and again. In the streets, people stopped moving. Music died. Laughter stopped. Even the skywalkers paused. Mid-flight. The truth had arrived, and it was not merciful. Across the galaxy, similar images appeared. Old war crimes, forgotten betrayals, moments when alien powers watched Earth burn and chose to look away. On one world, a former alien general dropped to his knees and wept. On another, students protested for the first time, holding signs that read, "We were lied to." Inside the central fortress of the Jern Dominion, their queen shouted at her ministers, "They're turning our people against us. They're using history as a weapon." But her old advisor shook his head. "No," he said softly, "they are using truth. We just forgot what it looked like." Meanwhile, Earth's fleet still didn't fire. They didn't take land. They didn't drop troops. They only circled above. Watching. Reminding. Recording the reactions of a galaxy that once called them extinct. In a quiet meeting room aboard the UES Requiem, Commander Sora sat with Admiral Kale. She placed a data slate on the table. "Sir, 23 alien worlds have lowered their flags." "No resistance?" Kale asked. "None. In fact, they're asking for forgiveness." Kale looked away, his voice low. Forgiveness wasn't the mission. Sora nodded. But it may be the outcome. In the Voni Syndicate, the empire of wealth and power, a former governor publicly stepped down. "I can no longer serve a government built on silence," he said. The crowd watching didn't cheer. They cried. Alien teachers rewrote their books. Museums changed their stories. For the first time in 70 years, Earth was not spoken of as a warning or a mistake. It was spoken of as a survivor, a people who endured the worst and came back with restraint. But not all bent their heads. In one forgotten corner of the galaxy, a group of defiant warlords gathered. They laughed at the images. They mocked Earth's silence. They promised to strike soon to remind the humans who truly ruled. And Earth was listening. Inside Echo Base, a hidden satellite intercepted the warlords' plans. Kale stared at the screen as enemy fleets gathered. His officers looked at him. "Do we respond, sir?" Kale stood slowly. "No, let them believe they're still in control." He walked to the center of the command platform and pressed a single button. The room darkened. A single phrase lit up in red. Phase 4. End the illusion. Back in the Galactic Council, ambassadors begged each other for a solution. What do they want? Why won't they speak? Then, as if in answer, the central hall filled with light, and Kale appeared live. Not a message, not a recording, a real-time broadcast. He stood tall, calm, wearing black and silver armor. "Your leaders claimed Earth died," he said. "They lied." He looked at each camera with piercing eyes. We watched you divide our colonies. Rewrite our names, sell our ruins. He paused. You thought we were gone, but we were simply becoming something else. Behind him, the screen lit up. A single image, the Earth flag, tattered, faded, but whole dot, and beneath it, a final message. The war is over before it began. Lay down your pride or lose it forever. Asterisk, the galaxy prepared for war. Earth prepared for a decision, not a decision to conquer, not a decision to destroy, but one far more terrifying to be seen, or to vanish. Forever dot in the cold reaches of deep space. 20 alien fleets gathered dot massive, armed, ready dot old enemies now stood side by side, united by fear. They called themselves the Last Wall dot, and their goal was clear. Stop Earth's fleet, or be ruled by it dot they never understood. Earth wasn't here to rule dot inside the UES Requiem. Admiral Kale stood in silence. The screen before him showed the enemy fleets approaching in formation. His officers waited, dot no one spoke. Commander Sora stepped forward. Sir, if we fire now, we'll win. Kale didn't answer. He simply looked out the glass dot and spoke quietly. They never feared our weapons. They feared what we became. On the lead alien ship, a Grand Marshal shouted to her crew, Target all human vessels. Prepare to launch. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. And then everything stopped. Every ship, every engine, every screen. Frozen dot, as if time itself paused. On every bridge, a signal appeared. A hologram. Admiral Kale's face, calm, still, speaking directly to the leaders of the attack. You stood together to erase Earth, he said. You built your power on our silence. He leaned forward slightly. Now we show you what silence becomes. A second signal activated. A galaxy-wide transmission, not just to military ships, but to civilians. Too. Students, to workers, to farmers. Everyone saw it. They saw Earth's real strength, not its ships, not its weapons, but its rebirth. Images played of underground human cities built in asteroid belts, of schools teaching children in hidden orbital domes, of scientists making miracles from scraps, of a people who survived without hope, but never gave up. Then came the final image. A child, born in space, touching Earth's flag for the first time. Beneath it, one final message. We do not want revenge. We want a future. Across the alien fleets, silence took hold. Some captains cried. Others lowered weapons. One, the Grand Marshal herself, gave the order no one thought she'd say. Stand down. In the Galactic Council, a vote was called. One by one, species who once hated humans raised their hands. They did not vote for surrender. They voted for recognition. For the first time in galactic history, Earth was no longer a warning. It was a leader. Back on the Requiem, Kale closed his eyes. The war ended before a single battle. Commander Sora stepped beside him. What now? She asked. Kale looked at the stars and gave the simplest answer of all. Now, we go home. And across the galaxy, flags came down. Maps were redrawn. Children learned the truth their parents had hidden. And on one quiet planet, where the stars had once forgotten Earth, a statue was built. Not of a weapon, not of a soldier, but of a single word, survivor. The end. Asterisk.